A bit about me, I like making things. My favorite color is purple, as you can tell. My favorite shape is hexagons, and my favorite emoji is a sparkly one. I really like the concept of web, building web stuff and making games, and I use they them pronouns. And you should all follow me on Twitter because I post gold. Pictures of cats, selfies, and the occasional tech meme thing. And this is where I'd say we're hiring, but actually I'm not working for anyone right now, so if you want to hire me, I'm right here. Find me later and speak to me about it. Cool. So I'm actually here to talk to you about PWAs, or PWA, if you want to pronounce it like that. So who here has heard of progressive web apps? Everyone, because it was mentioned in the previous talks. Who here has built a progressive web app before? A few of you, but not everyone. But we're going to fix that today, because we're going to make a progressive web app right now in front of you. Yeah, live coding at a conference. That's really smart, right? So what is a progressive web app? There are a few arguments about what exactly it is, and I don't want to start any fights or wars about like, oh no, a progressive web app must be this and has to have this. So no one's booing so far, which is good. For the purpose of this talk, it's going to be a website that you can add to your phone's home screen if you're using an Android phone, and it will do something or do something where you don't have internet access, so it will work offline. And by add to your phone's home screen, some browsers have little icons, like a big plus to add it to your home screen, or a big banner which says add to home screen, and which behaves like a native app. So what makes up a progressive web app? Again, there's arguments about what this can and can't include, but for this talk, a responsive website, a service worker, a web app manifest, an app icon, and HTTPS. A responsive website, yes, because it's going to be on mobile phones and desktops and stuff, and you want it to look nice and all those. A service worker, so it can do stuff offline. A web app manifest to tell you, so you know all the info about the site. An app icon, which is like a big favicon, basically. And HTTPS to make sure it's secure. So live coding in about 27 minutes and how to make a PWA. We're going to need some tools to cut some corners. So this is where it gets fun. Let's start live coding. Firstly, I'm going to need some sort of IDE or text editor. My favorite is glitch.com. It's online and free, and it means you can all follow along. I could make a website from scratch, but I prepared one last night, which meant the talk, I was up till like 2 a.m. making this. Let me just do this. And if you go to this URL on your phone or laptop, you can follow along and see every letter I type into this text editor. glitch.com/edit/#!/DeltaV. And here you have the index. Oh, cool, you're already here. Here's the index file showing the code. It's just a simple website. It's not a PWA yet, I promise. And if we load it up, you can see it is a 3D model of an anime girl T-posing. And cool, now we have a website. It's responsive. Is it responsive? It's responsive. What's next? We need to test it and see, hey, is this already a progressive web app? We're going to use something called Lighthouse. Who here has used Lighthouse before? Basically everyone. So it's in Chrome, hit audits, and let's perform an audit and check if it's a progressive web app. This is mostly so you know I'm not tricking you and just showing you progressive web app from the start. And then Lighthouse will do its thing, test the site, and tell you how many tests it failed, basically. It might not like the fact that I'm feeding a 3D model through the web. Cool. I got a score of 27. Wow, that's really low. It's out of 100. And it's giving me a long list of things saying it doesn't like anything. So that's OK, because I have more slides. The most important part of any app, be it native or web, is the icon, obviously. So we're going to start with that. We can make something fancy in Photoshop or something, or we can just use this website, which will generate a random emoji with a gradient background, which, in my opinion, works just as well as any of those professional ones. Who needs a design team, right? And now we have a lovely icon of a train on an orange background. But that's actually too ugly. Let's refresh the page and get another one. Nope, that's worse. This will do. Cool. Save this to my desktop. Hit save. And there's a trend in progressive web apps where the icons have to be round. I don't make the rules, so we're going to have to crop this into a circle. A rough circle. Perfect. So we now have an app icon. Sweet. The next thing we're going to look at is the manifest. The manifest is basically the journal of the website, telling you all about its favorite colors, its name, its nickname, how it likes to be displayed, which breaks the metaphor a little, but you know. So we could write this from scratch. It's just a JSON file, but we're just going to use this tool to build it for us. And our app name is going to be DeltaV, and the short name can be DeltaV2, because that's a pretty short name to begin with. The theme color, let's go with purple. And display mode, I'm going to go for standalone, which gives an app-like experience to it. Browser will have the browser bar at the top of it, and the other two aren't used often, so I don't know what they do. And let's feed it our tasty new icon. And then we'll get a zip file. We'll get a zip file. Yep. And this will give us a manifest and the icon formatted to hopefully the right size. Yep, bunch of icons. So now let's go to our website. Wow, lots of you are looking at me code. No pressure, though. Let's shove all of these up here. Boop. And we probably want to put in our manifest file itself, too. Let's open this in Atom. Cool. One issue with Glitch is that it doesn't handle putting in a lot of files at once, and you have to manually put in all of these URLs. So I'm going to do a few of these and then skip the rest. That is a weird size. Whatever. It's fine, probably. Cool. And we probably don't need these sizes for now. We'll just... Where? There? Sweet. See, we're working together here. Cool. And of course, I need to tell the main body of the page that we have a manifest and give it a theme color here, because the default A-frame theme, which I'm using, is black, and that's boring. So let's shove it in the head. I think putting it here will work. Sweet. And then here we have our thing. If we refresh it and run Lighthouse again, hopefully our score should go up. If it didn't, then I broke something. Oops. Audit, perform, run. And I do have it running on my phone as well, so we can test when it actually can be added to home screen, which is my goal for this talk. And now we should see a score higher than the one that we had before, which was in the reds. Hopefully. Any second now. Yeah, 45, we're getting better, we're doing it. Cool. So we have a manifest, we have an icon, that's basically an app, right? Well, we need a service worker so we can actually do some stuff offline. So again, we could write this from scratch, but there are websites which do it for us, so we're just going to take it from there and just shove it into our app, and it'll be fine. This is PWA Builder. You can use this to generate manifest as well. You just take your website's URL, put it in here, and it's another way to test the manifest file and to see if that worked. And it will say, show a manifest on app icons at the different sizes, and then give me errors because I'm missing loads of different versions of the icons. Cool. And the reason we're on the site right now is for this. It gives you examples of service workers you can take and put into your own code. The ones it includes are offline pages, offline copy pages, offline copy pages with backup offline pages, offline copy with backup offline page, and cache first network. So offline page, if you don't have internet connection, it will just show a web page offline.html, which I find kind of boring because why go through all the trouble making a progressive web app just to have a custom splash screen when you don't have internet access? So we're going to go with offline copy of pages, which will cache each page as you view it. And so if you view any previous pages you've seen, then it will just show you the website, which works really well for single-page apps, which our website is. So let's copy this and put it here in some script tags. Cool. And let's add a file called serviceworker.js. Got it. And just copy this and put it in here. Boop. Now if we actually call it here, because I called it sw.js rather than that longer name, we should have a website with a service worker. And rather than running an audit, I'm going to test it by going to application and seeing if the service worker is registered here. And there's a green circle, which is, oh no. There's a green circle, which means I did it. But we're not done yet, because Lighthouse still complains about a bunch of stuff, and I can't add it to my home screen just yet. So we need to make sure it's redirecting all traffic to HTTPS. I think Glitch doesn't do that great, so we can just add this line of code in, which will mostly fix it, at least in the case of mobile browsers. So if we can just add this to the top of the script. And if we refresh the page, and if you open it on your device, there should be a plus icon or say add to home screen. And huge GIFs. Sorry. And we did it. We made a progressive web app. I do have a backup one, just in case that one broke and I need to do a blue P, oh, here's one I made earlier. That is one other thing I wanted to do with the app and show all you folks. And that is, scroll down here and uncomment this line, because although T-poses are amazing, if you now refresh the app, Miku will dance. I don't think there's sound. Yeah, no sound. There might be sound if you open it on your phone. Cool. And this is done in WebVR, so you can move about. And if you had a VR headset plugged into this, then you could view it. Or if you have a Google Hub or something, you can view it on your phone. In VR, virtuality. Wow. Someone got the sound to work. Cool. If what I said went by kind of fast, or you want reference to links and stuff, I do have this all written down in a blog post. So if you want to read it rather than me like speaking at you. I do have a blog post which goes through everything I've just talked about in a lot more detail, and you go to that through goo.gl/tibifugasa. Cool. So as a summary of what? As a summary of what we just covered, what makes up a progressive web app is a responsive website, a service worker, a web app manifest, an app icon, which is the most important part, and HTTPS. So now here you go. You have a recipe or a potion to make any website you want a PWA. Should you do it? Should you make every website you make a progressive web app? Maybe. Probably not, really. Think about the use cases. Yeah, thank you.